As you come back through the gates of Castle Town, the city sprawls out before you. Where would you like to go?
Well, I did say I was going to show them where Walter works, so...
I'm going to the bar.
Okay. You guys make your way into the inner city, pass open stalls and markets, the smell of fresh bread, mead, and even the occasional street vendor yelling out, the rustle and bustle of people moving through the city, the soft, crisp smell as the day sort of starts to get colder near the end. You find your way to the place where you last saw Walter.
You know, nothing really beats the smell of the lie. A few things could probably beat the smell of a good book.
Few things, probably like a cave or a lair filled with profane artifacts.
Okay, a lair filled with artifacts would be very interesting.
Didn't we just come from that?
We did.
You're gonna hear...
Selling people. Kill them. Trustworthy friends.
Hello, Groucho. I've come with some friends just so that we could have a nice conversation and maybe possibly get you a worker, so to speak.
Wait, Tali, I wouldn't recognize this goblin, would I?
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you fucking would. This guy swindled you out of like $20.
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
He's just gonna narrow his eyes and like raise his gaze back to normal again, and just continue following Callum.
People are trustworthy. You remember Irita? She was with us whenever we first met.
And then you'll hear a deeper gurgle.
Callum, are you okay?
Of course, I remember.
Oh my!
In common?
Yes, in common.
He's gonna fucking cloak out, point a finger at him. I knew it!
Surprised. Chaos Mage.
You owe me your rematch now that you've actually shown your hand.
I thought the rules were that anything goes. You never said no to any sort of illusion magic.
Yes, he's a very fun...
Were I at my full faculties, I would have sniffed you out in a second.
Donatello, I will make a recommendation. You do not want to make them
May I ask a question of you? Now that we are being forward. Your name is Digeri Donatello. No.
And your name is Walter, is it not?
What happens to your magic, little wizard?
That story comes with the price.
Reasonable. Alright.
At first, he's just gonna like stretch his arms just casually. I believe we had some business that we wanted to attend to, some items that we could just get rid of, pawn off to you. Perhaps we'll be able to talk more over a game or so.
Oh, I love being used as the local adventuring garbage dump.
Yep, we've got some real trash on our hands that's just weighing us down, burning all over our pockets.
Please don't talk about Louinder that way. He's right behind
Hey!
Oh, we're not selling Louiander. We're trying to see if
You're
we can
not
get him a
selling
job.
Louiander. Disappointing.
No.
He already belongs to somebody, unfortunately.
Walter.
Yes, he belongs.
Hello?
Oh. Mistress.
He kind of lowers his head and does a soft bow.
She'll move closer so she can be closer to Walter.
Gotta move to the side so she can be even closer.
My apologies for any sort of crass comments that I have made.
No, you're perfectly all right. I haven't exactly been present recently. I can understand a little bit of spite.
There is no spite here. Merely surprise. Now are you here?
Well, it's a long story as well. One that I shouldn't be sharing out in the open.
Then explain to me this, at least. What quelled the undead hordes beneath in my halls? Why are the canals of poison running with such a vicious, agitated energy? I would like to apologize because it would seem that I made a grave error when putting together quite a few different magical spells.
He was being manipulated and fed wrong instructions. As you can see, I'll pull out one of the crystals that he's made.
Yep. It's being led along the whole time, manipulated, hook, line, and sinker. Usual suspects.
And what I wanted to ask of you, my good friend, would you be able to find it within your heart to help right the falsely gained information? Let us set the score. Let us make sure that, nothing like this happens again.
Interesting. I did not take you as one for ritualistic sacrifice.
No, not that type of righting of the wrong. I want you to teach him, Walter. Teach him.
Needed, I can also try to teach him the identify spell that I was going to make constant scrolls for you. If he can work for you and I teach him that spell.
Chin rubbing.
An assistant, lovely.
Exactly.
I accept this sort of an agreement if you...
And he turns to Louisander.
You will do as I say while you are under my guidance. Do not step out of line.
Didn't plan on it.
Good. Then it is settled.
And he'll hold out his arm. You want me to do this with myself?
Yes, it is how I trade goods.
Gods. Do any of you have a working shower around here that I will be able to use later?
There's the place we've been staying at, I think.
Good, that works
I
for
think
me.
she has.
All right.
What happened to that bucket I gave you?
Oh, I still have it. Don't worry, don't worry. I just... Well, he's going to... And he's going to reach out and grab the hand. And there's just going to be a... Foof, as he's pulled in and then immediately shoved down into the water. And then Walter's grin widens and he goes...
He'll be fine.
I'll definitely come by to start giving him lessons on that spell whenever possible.
Before, should I go with him? I guess maybe not yet, but eventually
I give him that week, like you said. You have to be strong.
Yeah, let Walter do a little bad cop before you come in and try to do a little nice cop.
And let him sort out his emotions along with your own.
I am worst cop.
And then Minerva's just gonna go... I must be honest with you. It is... She, clutches a hand near her heart. I hate being mean.
Trust me, I understand how that feels. However, you're mean because you love him. Or at least I'm assuming as such.
You don't think I'm being too harsh?
I think you're doing fine. Everyone has a different level of, air quote, mean that they do, and I think you're being fine. Then again, I'm dense, so I listen to Irita, not me.
I am not well versed in conversational skills, but to come back and discover one's lover essentially sold themselves to a mage that seeks most people's destruction, I believe you're well within your right to give him a bit of ribbing. It's not like he's...
So we're all in the same boat on the whole social awkwardness scale, I suppose. I feel a little bit better.
Reverie's fine.
I mean, I'm not really sure if I would say I don't know.
Reverie can actually talk to people otherwise.
I can talk to people. I just sometimes, as you put it, I'm very forward and blunt, and
Bluntness is a sign of intellect. Feel no shame for it.
Thanks, Walter.
No,
That's what the others were saying too.
But if you're still worried for him, we could leave poison keystone with Walter.
No.
And you just give him the time he needs.
I'll wait. Go see him at the end of a week. If he... There's not a world in which he would... He wouldn't hate me, right?
No.
Considering that once again he almost risked
I
everyone's
know,
lives
I'm
for
well aware
you.
but there's still that fear.
Love is something that's not easily broken, at least from what I've read. It's a long-lasting affliction to one's minds that you will always have a lingering sensation to that point of connection. Even if it ended up with you not having the same relationship, there would still, at least I'd imagine, be a source of love for you in his heart. Right now, you just need to give him some space and let him realize who he is and what that love means.
And come to terms with the fact that he was doing some specific rituals and arts that not the best.
If it sways your mind at all, he was very jealous when
God, yes.
when Reverie was pointing out the times he made you blush. So I imagine he's not going to want to let you go too soon.
And I also made a comment at one point, sort of ribbing him in a way, essentially calling him out, saying that he was going to be the reason you died, and he rebuked that, saying that he was going to be the reason you hopefully live again. I believe he, in not so many words, effectively said that he'd be willing to give his soul up for yours.
I just feel like such an idiot, but that's the most romantic thing in the world. She's just kind of like melts a little bit at that. It's just like,
Callum, for the moment, forgetting she's a spirit again, tries to put a hand on her shoulder, falls face first on the ground. Just, yep, I forgot about that.
Catches you with one tendril.
That's another thing.
Walter.
That's another thing that comes with intellect, I found. We overcomplicate things.
In my line of work, there is nothing more meaningful than devoting one's time.
You intelligent type folks also waste a lot of time going into the intricacies of heart and love and soul, and I just want to get paid and get my bar tab paid off.
Yes, you should definitely do that, Walter. He has some mercury to sell you.
Very, very pure, potent, a powerful alchemical material, Walter.
Fascinating.
Now I profess that I do not know much about it. I'm just acutely aware that it is very, very toxic.
I've given a good look over.
And worth its weight in gold and then some. So,
Donnie, I will also mention, you should probably buy a new water skin after you're done. Unless you want to die from poisoning.
well, it's not going to stain the inside of it or anything, is it?
He holds out his hand for the water skin.
Yeah, alright.
And after a little analysis, he'll just go,
I can give you 500 for this.
I accept.
and he'll down into the well of water with your water skin, of course, and then pulls out a stack of coins.
Am I just meant to take these? Can I get like a paper bag for those maybe?
He takes one back and he hands you a knapsack.
Do you do plastic or do you do paper?
Bags are 1 gold.
If you need someone to carry it for you, Donnie, I can do that for you for a while.
He's just going to furrow his brow and narrow his eyes and do that thing where his like lips are very like slightly puckered, and he's just going to slowly reach out, and just slide the bag over to him. Take it. Maintaining eye contact. I will win back that gold one of these days.
I'd like to see you try.
I won't need to try.
Then may chaos favor you.
He says that with all the smarminess of a guy who knows he fucking doesn't believe in any of your bullshit.
Just gonna take the gold and kind of like shove it away under his cloak and then just back off.
Some things to sell to you as well, my friend. I also have a question. Something that you might be willing to buy, but I'm unsure. It's poison-infused bone dust.
A peculiar cell.
Yes, there was bone dust that nearly killed us in a pot, and then we put some of it in oh, right, you know the poison weird that lives in the dungeon with Minerva, yes?
I warned you about it, yes.
Yes. I've named them. They are very kind. Shera is what I've called them.
Blink.
Oh.
Did they already have a name?
Looks at Minerva. Minerva looks back at Walter. And then there's just a moment of like, you know what? Gemma works. And her cheeks go a little bit like pink for a second.
Did I overstep a bound? I'm so sorry.
I don't need to talk about it, it's fine. Anyway.
Anywho, some of a lot of this bone dust soaked up some of their poison.
I
So
see.
I'm not sure if that's useful to you.
In its current form, no. But
And he'll hold out a hand. How much do you have of that, Richard?
225 pounds.
Holy shit, okay.
I could just dump it out.
I'll make it plain
I'm pretty
and
sure I
simple.
still have a whole bag.
He'll take it and he'll just go,
well, the bone dust is handy. And the poison is exquisite.
Yes.
Well, I do not know its direct worth. How about this? I'll offer you 2 treasures for it.
Ooh. I do enjoy your treasures, Walter. I will accept these terms.
okay, he'll take the 225 pounds of poison bone dust, dump it into his pool, and then he will pull out 2 D983 rolls.
You know what? I don't want to roll these. Someone else, 2 people roll me these for this.
Roll.
I haven't rolled today. Go, Duncan.
Cool.
Okay, the first thing that he pulls out is a glaive. Just a
Glaive?
normal, versatile glaive.
Ooh.
1d6 slashing / 1d8 piercing.
This will be very useful with Reverie.
Indeed.
And then on 29, he brings out a cast iron pot.
A cast iron pot?
Smells like soup and clunk
Soup
right
pot,
down.
soup pot,
And then he
soup
just
pot.
goes,
This pot is enchanted to season any soup put into it.
Ooh.
Unfortunately,
Hang
it
on.
only does salt and pepper.
Not very useful in a dungeon, but awesome item to have.
pot of seasoning is what you got.
A pot of seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I've sold everything I need. I will come back later to help with the training of your new assistant.
Please don't be too harsh on him.
He's a very respectable individual. I would never.
And Walter will slowly back into the water,
I love Walter.
and you'll see the facade pop back up.
Go on, get lost.
And then he like winks. Alright, Reverie.
Me, the protagonist.
The brisk wind blows through your hair, sending locks of it flying into your eyes. Occasionally, you're able to blow it out of your face, and look at that. The dragon's mind.
Referee opens the door confidently. Tevin!
Squeak, squeak, cleaning.
Duh. my adventuring friend. Welcome.
It is me.
Can I get you anything?
I would love a drink.
Excellent.
And maybe some bread.
I hope that I do not disappoint, but today we only have 2 available tips.
No problem at all. That's new.
Oh, Eagle's Eye. All right.
A druidic stout is on tap today. This stag's stout. As well as one from the Underdark. A tincture said to increase your night vision, the Eagle's Eye.
I would take the druid one.
Smart choice.
All right, and he'll pour you a glass, and he will then continue to go.
Oh, I would be able to offer you this beauty.
And he points to the keg that has like a scratched out label, and then he goes,
Unfortunately, none of my glasses that I currently have could contain such a magical ale.
and he will place it on the table. So that's 10 gold, and you'll get the Stag's Stout. Your movement speed base has gone up by 5 feet.
The opposite of last time.
And I need you to make a con save, please. Okay, you succeed. You suffer no ill effects.
I was really hoping you would just immediately fail and immediately wild
Okay.
shape.
Do I turn into a deer if I fail?
Who knows?
I don't.
And then he continues to sigh, and he just goes,
So, are you still going through those dungeons, or do you have time for a little bit of mercenary work?
What kind of mercenary work are you looking to have done? You don't seem like you need mercenaries.
Well, hopefully nothing too threatening. No, it's this. You see, I was supposed to have a set of magically enchanted cups delivered to me today, and they have not arrived.
Oh. Do you think someone took them?
That is a possibility. Unfortunately, while maintaining the bar, I do not have the time to go and investigate myself. So,
I would be happy to go look for you. I can ask Callum what we should do.
that would be greatly appreciated. There's
What's
a
that?
little gold in it for you, if you're interested.
A little gold is always appreciated.
And of course, don't forget, you'll be able to drink things like this.
and he points at the tab back there.
12 additional brews in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there how many do we have currently?
I have not told you.
Hmm?
Yeah, so if you do this, you'll get a bunch more really, and these are super potent, these ones.
Fuck yeah. Guys, I picked up a quest.
If you're looking for the stonemason, her name is Limestein. She lives in the inner city and works at a forge there. You should be able to find it by the sounds of either powerful machinery slamming into the sides of walls, the dust from the quarry, or, well, general blacksmith things. You'll find it.
Okay.
And here.
And he's going to pass over a piece of paper.
Give her this. Proof of purchase. That should be all you need.
Alright. I will tell Callum we're looking for a limestein. Okay. River goes back to drinking.
He goes back to cleaning. Just the softest, most pleasant little experience. Nothing could ever interrupt this soft, wonderful Oh god.
I like to have some bread before they enter.
Yeah, you can have some bread. Yeah,
Buy
in
it
fact,
quick,
he'll be
buy it
handing
quick.
you the loaf of bread as the door slams open.
Please tell me he plays the fucking didgeridoo as he enters to like announce himself.
No, what he does whenever he enters the building is always pushes the door open really fast, and quickly before the door swings open to reveal him, he's gonna stand up straight with both arms behind his back. Like the door just swings open in front of him even though he pushes it open.
Devin narrows his eyes.
What are you here for?
Well, if I was going to burn down your bar, I would have already done it by now. I'm here to settle our score, old man.
Burn down my bar. As if. Your threats are empty and your pockets are even more.
He has he's running his finger across the wood supports around this door. It's like, yes, burn it down. If you were causing me any more trouble, that is. But you aren't. So,
Those
you get to
stools
keep
are
your
for
establishment.
paying guests.
He adjusts his glasses.
I do not take kindly to threats.
You're being a wee bit too hasty. What are you going to do? Increase my tab?
Flames lick out around his throat.
No, something more your speed.
Elaborate?
He's going to light you on fire.
You will not have hair anymore, little wizard.
Donatello, please, if you're just going to stand here and
He's
make
going
fun
to,
of him, let
as
me
he's,
move out of
as
the
he's
way.
saying that, he's just gonna reach an arm under his cloak and bring out the bag and sit it down, really just laying the weight of the coins within, because kind of reverberate out throughout the bar. He's just going to like pull the string.
Blood
very
vessel
daintily
pops
with
on
one
his
finger.
forehead.
Very daintily pull the string, untie the bag with one finger, and he's just gonna reach it out. He's like, oh, Tebin, how I value the trust between you and I. Let me count the ways. 1, 2, 3.
Dude, just pull out a coin with every single one. Is he gonna do this for all 110?
He's gonna get bored at about 10 and then just pour out a stack.
You hear something crack.
He's just going to ignore it and continue counting out the rest of the money.
So, what could I get you today, then?
You have an interesting selection. Care filling me in on why that one barrel is unlabeled?
It is currently filled with a drink that is too magical to be held in a normal cup.
And yet not too magical to be imbibed.
Correct.
Now, dear Tebin, how much did this particular barrel of ale that you cannot safely sell to your customers cost you?
I do not have to disclose that information. You may have covered your tab, but you are not on good terms here.
He's just gonna slide back on his stool, turn around, and stand. Still like eyes narrowed, but a little bit of smugness on his face. Like pick up the bag off of the bar with the rest of the gold in it. He's just gonna leave.
Quest complete. Donnie, you get to live for another section. Congrats!
He's gonna go outside. What time is it?
It's approaching sunset.
Okay, he has somewhere to be.
Yeah?
He's
Okay.
gonna head back towards town.
Alright.
Back towards the market.
Sounds good. Reverie, you've sat down.
Reverie just moved to get away from Donatello.
Yeah, at some point you will have a... You'll hear just like a tired slump.
Poor Tevin.
Uh,
Hey, should we hide Minerva? Or how should we handle?
Well, this is a safe place, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Is there someone you're afraid of recognizing me?
Well, if a cultist recognizes you.
Yes. My assumption, along with Harry's assumption, is correct. Is some of the town guard might be in their employ.
Well, for the time being, then I could just...
she looks over to Eerie and she starts to phase inside of you. You feel a little cold. You also feel a little seasick. And then you hear in your head,
Like this? Ghosts do this, right? They call it possession?
I suppose this works.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
it's probably fine.
Your
I'm going
heart is
in.
racing so fast. Are you nervous?
It's just like that. Okay.
Try untensing your shoulders. I can feel that, you know.
Okay.
I wonder if that.
Yeah, call me out. She's absolutely like in the like fucking frightened.
Meanwhile, Cal's just gotten closer. It's just like, interesting. I wonder if this would have any sort of effects on your magic or anything like that.
Actually, now that I have you to myself, Callum, well, relatively.
Is this something where you need a safe place?
I I would prefer to talk to you off to the side, yes.
Okay, off to the side. Do.
Yes, if it doesn't trouble you at all.
Alright, so question. Like, really secret type deal? Like you don't want anyone else listening in? Or...
Some concerns I have.
Okay, hang on. But this is fine.
Oh,
What's up?
a cube of force.
Yes, I found it in your dungeon. Very
Is that
useful.
the one I made?
Possibly. Does it look familiar at all? Like hold it in the hand?
Oh,
What
I do not
see?
know.
It's just that I feel someone in our party has not been very upfront with us about their practices with the dark arts.
I know. It's the whole conversation I should have with you all together. I shouldn't have
I
hinted
don't
that
know
I'm a
if we should.
necromancer.
That would tip them off.
I mean, everyone should know that I'm a necromancer at this point. I mean,
What?
Leander did kind
Oh.
of just say that out loud. Did you not hear
Oh,
that?
that. Yes, I did, but why is that an issue?
I mean, most necromancers are hated and killed on sight because they desecrate the bodies of the dead, and it's like, I mean, sure, there are some like that, but not all of us are like that. They're the ones that are sort of grey necromancers, as we call ourselves. Yes.
Come on. Have you been doing any of those things?
No, I'm not that strong yet, and on top of that,
Have
I
I
would
seen-
always ask permission first.
Have I ever... Do you believe I have a reason to believe you're automatically a villain when you're going out of your way to save the king?
I mean, yes, because I could be doing this all as a ploy to manipulate people into making me a sort of hero, so I could then use them all as sacrifices to obtain a life beyond life.
Yes, because a hero would go out of its way to save one of Malbeth's soldiers.
Incredibly inefficient.
Inefficient, but if you think about it,
It's...
smart.
What I'm getting at is, Callum, unless you are very good at lying, I don't believe you are something to be feared. To me, schools of magic are just schools of magic. It's just about the person who uses them, and you haven't given me a reason to believe you're evil.
That is exactly what I've always said. It's not the magic that's evil, it's how the people use it, and it's just... Oh, the people are so stupid sometimes. Yes.
May I use a metaphor for you?
Yes.
Where I come from, my people are hunted for their skin. Do you know why?
I had to make an assumption. You're a sort of magical being, so...
Indeed.
The whole thing about, Medusas and turning people to stone, that's also a thing people would probably...
They say that it is for the magic imbued within us. But the only reason it's allowed is because the people over there say it's some form of...
And she gets a really sour look.
population control.
That's the biggest bullshit excuse I've ever heard, and I've heard bullshit excuses. I'm a wizard.
Lord Baron offered me refuge here. A place where there is less discrimination against my kind. And thusly, I think, less against yours as well. At least I would hope.
If, the one overarching issue, but you're going somewhere.
He's not your fault.
If it puts into perspective, well, my domain is of life.
Yes.
One of my sisters actively pursues the experimentation of the dead.
Is it the one that you mentioned was in the tavern the other day?
Oh no, she has, but she does everything.
But she does everything. So, you'd say she's more of an arcane possible. Do you think she'd have information that I could use?
No, she studies. That's another one. When I say she does everything, I don't mean just magic. She kind of dabbles in every book she can get her hands on.
Oof. I would very much probably enjoy stealing a little bit of information from that at some point. Anywho.
But The point I'm making here is, at my church, necromancy is not something to be feared. It's something to be understood. Even a life cleric like me has to dabble in necromancy from time to time. That's how I'm able to cast spells that can heal.
Very good point to make also. Callum, if everyone here hated necromancers, regardless of their intentions, they would have to hate the king.
Why?
There's a sage of necromancy.
Like to meet the sage.
They live in a very far off land, deep underground. I think you two would like each other.
Possibly. You were saying you were worried about someone? Donatello, I take it?
No, actually. Our recent fight has led me to grow worried about our companions' wordings and actions lately. Helm seemed very kind at first, but when faced with Louiander, he was though he said he broke his ties to a previous cult, he still went on about how traitorous Louiander seemed, and there was almost a bit of passion in that hatred.
Could be somebody in his past might have done something similar to him, said they were going to give up the life, and then turned around, ran away, or possibly even stabbed him in the back.
Well, here's my issue. If someone who has broke ties with a cult
Multiple cults,
has really
if I
done
remember
so,
correctly.
then why would they be getting on someone else's case for doing the same?
That is a question I was pondering asking him about.
He was very insistent, and had you not used the cube of force, I'm very confident Helm would have taken his life.
I'm glad that I was even able to save him. I nearly killed Reverie or you, and
we all knew the dangers coming into this, but I know not the patron he draws from, but something. I have an off feeling about Helm. Even when he was talking about Louiander, almost like he was an object, he's been far more aggressive in the recent months. I'm just...
Yeah, no, you're all right. I have noticed a little bit of the anger tinge and whatnot.
I'm obviously not trying to say immediately he's a traitor. We should oust him like when he is. I'm saying you were very combative with him in that battle, and if there is something to be worried about, I think you should not worry just only for our group's safety or the safety of our mission, but your own life may be in stake.
I'm slightly worried for my own life, but that would be greedy of me to run away. If need be, I was going to get the opinion of the others and see if they wanted me to stay. After all, they should know that they're traveling with a user of the dark arts.
I tell you what. Say both of us make it out the other side, which hopefully does happen. Knock on wood. You'd probably like to meet my sister, since you seem to be very interested in all sorts of necromancers.
Oh, necromancy and pretty much any study of the arcane, to be honest. It's very useful.
Oh, then you might just want to come to my church.
Yes, I mean, you have made
Everyone there practices a bit of it.
Yes, you did make it sound very interesting. Oh, right. I have something, and I should lower this if we're done talking about the more serious tone.
I cannot help but feel like I should not be here right now.
You're fine.
I have no reason to distrust you.
Well, trust, sure, but, well, it seems you're struggling with a lot of interpersonal issues. I would offer my advice, but, it seems I'm struggling too.
I mean, but having a third person, a neutral party, as it were, helps give another perspective.
Well,
And
if
that
it
is
was
something
me, I
that's
would
very important.
just talk to him. Maybe it's something that is bothering him.
Here's an idea that I also was pondering, but the
Secrets
question
kept in the
is...
dark often fester to poison.
True. We can talk to him in the tavern or such, possibly. Use the cube again.
Perhaps one day, but I fear bringing that up if my worries are correct.
At some point, you're gonna get a tap, tap, tap on the outside of the cube.
Oh. Ah! Heck!
Oh goodness!
Ironic.
How'd you get there?
Well, see, this blocks everything. Side number 5. Besides, for like oxygen, essentially. So they can't hear us, and we can't hear them. Do you mind if I lower it now?
I just think yes, but just keep your wits about you and your guard up around Helm. We don't know if he's truly who he says he is.
I'll do my best to keep myself and you lot as best I can safe. But Miss Terry being over here does bring up something that I would like to posit as a possibility.
Yes.
So, are you just having some sort of a little, like, seance over here?
Oh, it's a little
In the
powwow,
haystacks?
but I have
A
an
private
item.
chat? Out in the open?
Yeah.
That's really risky. Are you sure you want to do that?
Oh, don't worry.
The magic ensure their safety.
You have no idea what people can do around here. They might have heard you.
What?
You didn't hear it from me.
Wait, Terry, come back.
Yes. What
So you know that item you're working on for Arita, yes?
item?
Yes.
The wand.
wand?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Goodness me. How do you know about that? Did you tell her? Were you there? Good. Wow.
She told me about it and everything.
Right, you're friends. I had forgotten that part. Gotta connect the dots,
We're-
right? The string one moving from you to you. Got it. I see
We're
it
an
now.
adventuring party.
I have a question. She mentioned that a focus might be needed or something more potent to be used. Would this jade gemstone help with making this wand better?
You really just do a full heel turn on me, huh? Come over this way, man. Come on. You can't be sitting in the muck doing bartering and shit.
I wasn't sure, Arita. I know gems are very useful in magic, so I went spelunking. This is a bit of knowledge for you if you ever have to fight a purple worm again. They tend to leave minerals behind when they dig gems, ores, etc., etc. There's also another creature that does a similar sort of deal, but it's a little bit more interesting with the other one. You see, there's a thing called a remoraz. They are great, terrifying creatures.
So, you two both look like you've gone through life-changing events. Give me the deets.
It's just your average exploring.
Oh, you know as well
dungeon.
as me that there's no such thing as average around these parts. What did you do? Did you kill a giant monster? Did you fight something? Did you get eaten? You look like you got eaten recently. And I don't mean in the fun way.
I did get bit by a purple worm.
She
a
winks
few
at you.
times, as you can tell.
What does that mean?
Oh, you know.
Waka.
Jade gemstone. Here, put it on the table. It kind of depends. There's a lot of factors that go into that. How did you find this thing? Underneath the poison dungeon?
Underneath the poison dungeon, unearthed by a purple worm.
What?
Yes,
No, you surely you're pulling my leg.
I am not.
And you're alive?
Yes, we are very resourceful at times.
Gosh,
We
remind me not to get on
very
your bad
party
side.
members.
Let me see here.
She pulls out like one of those gem inspector glasses. Just click, 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 click.
Yes, it's definitely jade. I'm not a jeweler. But I can tell you pretty solid. This would be better than what was in that thing. It's not unstable.
Yes, I believe the unstableness of that wand might be because somebody not as trained as yourself and myself.
Oh yeah,
made
no,
it.
this is horrible. She holds it up. You can see it sparking.
Oh my god, is that the same freaking handsmanship that fucking really angered it? Oh my god. Actually, do you mind if I give that a good old once over again?
Sure, it's yours. Well, it's hers. If she's good with it, I don't care. Here. Tosses you a firecracker.
What? Okay, goodness.
And then 2 hands under the chin. Just be sure to explode away from my shop stall, sweetheart.
Oh, don't worry, we're not going to explode.
Yet.
I don't want to.
You've beaten the purple worm, you'll be fine. What's one explosion spell?
True.
Anyway, I've got important work to do, so you look over that and tell me when you're done. Bang! Bang! Bang!
I knew it was coming. Oh god, Calum's gonna look over the runes real quick.
Alright. Yeah, they're awful.
Not awful in the way of a novice made this, or awful in the sense of, oh yeah, somebody was trying to fuck this man over.
It's really just that they're not tied properly. The best way that I would describe it is that if you used up every single point in this wand, it would explode.
So this is the ticking time bomb version of those other crystals. Okay, so a little bit of the person who made this didn't finish wizard school, and a little bit of malicious intent was played upon this.
Didn't finish wizard school. Donk. Yeah, it could have fooled me. Donk. That thing looks terrible.
Yes, it also looks as though somebody lied to whoever made this and snuck in some explosive runes on a timer.
Donk. Sounds like a bad wizard. Donk.
Bad wizard, and also somebody who is easily manipulated, probably.
Yeah, bad wizard. She gets back up.
And the wand back over.
Well, yeah, if you want me to try and swap this thing out, I can do it for you.
Yeah, it's up to
Take
you.
a little elbow grease and a little bit of arcane sparkle. She does a little poof of magic next to it.
Would it be up to what you need, Irita, do you think? Or should we keep going for something better?
I wouldn't mind accepting it.
Yes, it's completely up to you. I mean, if this gets you the sort of upgrade you were looking for on this wand, always glad to help out a friend.
No, aren't you guys just precious?
There's a bit of just there is a very obvious smile that creeps on her face as she's been trying to avoid assuming friendship this whole time.
You know what? Just because I like you guys so much, and I don't do this often, so don't come looking for it. I'll talk 200 for that. So you can get it for about 800. I'll upgrade it, have it to you in the morning. Sound good? Oh, also, I guess I should mention, if you want me to, I can also just crack this runestone out here, and if you get a really nice stick.
I would preferably want to keep the magic. I just have to see if...
Fair enough, it's just an above-average stick.
Yeah, it's... I still want to keep...
So, we just need to get 800.
Sure, yeah.
You know, if you want to pay for the whole thing... She just slides her arm over the table and just kind of wiggles her eyebrows, and she's going to try and charisma you, Callum, and she's going to go... You could trade me that cube, and I could give it to you for free.
No!
Just like a snap, and she just goes, darn. Yeah, it would be too easy.
This unfortunate. It would have been, yeah, it would. That is worth. I know how much these things are worth, and poof, that is a king's ransom right there. You tricksy on you, waggle the finger.
I'm hurt.
Well, I guess we'll just need to get more reagents besides that one gemstone.
Well, keep looking. What's the worst that could happen? You find me something that isn't a bomb?
I mean, if you want a bomb, I do have some.
Well, I mean, that wasn't an ask for, but, yeah? What type of bomb?
Oh, it's a poison bomb. A friend of mine is looking into reverse engineering it.
Poison bomb, you
And
say?
making... Yes, I'll pull out one of the eyes.
Hold on. What friend? Because that looks suspiciously like trash.
I can guarantee you they're very volatile.
They are.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on the active grenades.
Yes, I thought you might. Fun things that we might have found.
I'm just here for the stories, honestly. You guys get up to some wild stuff out there.
Yes, hi, it's a fun time. I mean, I've also learned a few new magical things that my master put me up to learning.
No, a few magical things, but of course he's not going to share because a wizard's worth his
I could.
weight in knowledge.
I could. I mean, if you give me a scroll and maybe a
there
bit
it
of money,
is. There it is.
I could create you a scroll of hold person.
You do that?
I mean, that could help get us a little bit of money towards that wand and whatnot again.
Are you okay?
No, I'm just surprised. Most people don't make me things.
I mean, if you remember, I did mention.
Are you trying to get shop favor?
Callum does not respond to that. With more than a chuckle.
She pushes up her cheek and is just like, it can't be my winning smile. I'm not that charming.
Oh, you do have a bit of charm to you. I find you quite endearing.
Listen to this guy. Sounds like he wants to buy something for free.
Here, as this conversation goes on, it's wondering if she should give these two space.
Right? The fucking, the flirtiness.
This is for anyone but me, Eureka thinks.
Minerva, in your head, also goes, I agree with that sensation.
Yes, I mean,
You talk to each other telepathically?
Yes, I did this earlier.
Oh, I thought you
I'm literally in your head right now.
Oh!
Do you want me to
Okay,
stop? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That's just, I didn't think of anything embarrassing.
Look, I'll just, go back to being quiet.
Hey, Callum, today's a nice time for a walk. I'm gonna go walk.
What? She just stares.
I don't have business here, so I should probably take myself elsewhere. Goodbye.
I think that, close his eyes for a minute. Ah, yes, Reverie is still in the tavern. Opens the eyes again. Yes, I could make a scroll if you're willing to do a little bit of trading for it. Yes.
What was that?
She's a bit awkward with social situations.
Yeah, well, I know that. But that's an extra level of awkward.
Yes, I mean, we did sort of... okay, so, juicy deeds, story, inside the dungeon. We may have fought somebody who is very horrible with charismatic sort of encounters, and she has been probably overwhelmed with the fact of how... What was the word that Reverie used? How little riz this person had? And Irita seemed to be very...
Well, you can send her by my place, whoever she is. I can fix her up. Give her some charisma tricks.
It would be a man that has no riz.
Oh, even better. Though I'm not so good at doing that sort of thing. I don't know. It's just something... You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like the girl vibe.
Yeah, I think I understand. Yeah, I think I understand.
I don't know how to give the
you
guy
might know
vibe.
this.
That's good at it.
I think you might know who this man is. He seemed to possibly know you.
Huh?
Do you know a man named Louiander? Yes! Yes!
Oh.
I
drops.
I see, you do know him. He had a few things to say about you, which made me chuckle.
No, what did he say? What did he say?
Well, he said that you apparently look different from the last time he saw you.
Pulls that color. What?
Yeah. I believe he also said something about Faye and whatnot.
I think that I'm closed. She's gonna pull the curtain down. Alright, good night, Callum.
Alright, I mean, it's perfectly fine.
Donk. Every time you start to talk, donk.
Are you alright? You know that doesn't make me change my opinion of you or anything, right? Oh, right, I mean... He speaks in a different language. I have no idea if she knows it.
Okay. I'll just keep banging, and she'll just go, seriously, we're closed. Go home.
He'll still keep talking in that language. It's just interesting. I hope that she is all right. I hope I didn't upset her too much. Yes, shopkeep, sir. I would like to purchase a healer's kit.
If it's for Terry, it's on the house.
Oh. I cannot tell a lie. It's not for Terry, it's for our endeavors into the dungeon.
No, okay, normal price then.
Yes, I did not want to swindle you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I respect the honesty.
I feel so bad. I want to know now.
She is still banging away in there. She hasn't left.
Cal is just gonna write a small note and comment, and just as he walks past, just put it on the table as he walks by. Okay, it'll disappear under the cloth. What did you write her? Just that, you know. Just because this air mystery that makes Cal so curious.
Right here, you see a middle finger apparate.
Oh, all right. I guess I. Oh, I hope I didn't upset her.
Donk. Donk. Give me an insight real quick.
I'm horrible at these, so I'm totally gonna get
It's
the
just
wrong
something
idea.
about this you might notice.
Not terrible.
That's good enough to notice. It's not very hard to see. It's a spell. It's a spell you recognize, and it seems like it's a concentration spell, but also it's really fuzzy.
Is that minor illusion?
Silent image would be the spell.
Silent image middle finger.
And also it's very shaky, which normally happens when a mage can't concentrate very well.
Oh. I should apologize. I probably said something wrong. Sorry, I don't mean to bother you for long. I'm sorry if I said something that upset you. I'm going to walk away now.
Hand reaches out from under the table. Grab.
Oh, hello.
Is that all he said?
That you look different?
Just
Possibly fair, tricky, look different.
Just... Is he here?
He's currently working. You know, trash man that you were talking about? He's going to currently be working as an assistant for him. You know, I might be overcomplicating this and getting a wrong idea vibe. But did you two date or something at one point?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
No. I would never, ever touch that. No, I like smart guys. Anyway.
We're pretty dumb if you think about it. Anyway.
It's not him. He's not the problem. It's just what he brings with him.
Chaos?
Rumors.
Ah.
I spread the rumors here. Don't let him start spreading them towards me. If you actually care about any sort of this and this whole back and forth that we have going on isn't just, to pass the time, can never tell. But let's say it isn't. Let's say you actually care about what happens to me. Don't spread those rumors. Please.
I won't. That's why I thought I'd ask you first, because, well, us smart people tend to try to find the facts. We get curious.
Great. So you're not gonna shut up about this now, huh?
Oh, no, I'll not tell anyone else. But I think that just means I'm probably going to pester you a lot more. Whenever I have time.
Pester me about what? Because depending on what you say, it's either great or terrible.
Oh, I mean, obviously I can try and
Wait, are you
pester
blackmailing me?
God, no.
Okay, good. I was worried for a second there.
If I was going to blackmail you, I would tell you I was going to blackmail you.
That sounds very inefficient.
Well, I have a code that I must follow, and... I mean, take for example, I went over there to the kind fellow and bought a healer's kit. He said if it was for you...
You notice her hands stick out and she just goes, blah, 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 lawful, blah, 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 follow a code. Look, just go telling lies, alright? Don't go telling people that I am something, am not something. Hell, don't even mention my name. I don't fucking exist as far as I'm concerned. You want to send them to my inn? Cool. You want to tell them weird things so they start poking around my tent?
I mean, if I were to tell them anything to poke around your tent, I'd probably tell them Terry has good prices and very amicable.
That's like not a rumor, that's just the cold hard truth.
Yes, exactly. Which is primarily what I would spread.
Okay, alright, fine. You're not gonna try and ruin me.
God, no. I actually think you're interesting.
Oh, you don't gotta be so kind. Now, seriously, though, I think I am actually going to close up for the night. That caught me off guard. I haven't seen that guy in a while. We went to college together.
Oh, you went to college? Wait, did you go to the same college he went to? Bard or Wizard College? Because apparently he went to the same Wizard College I went to.
She gets like a distant look for a second. Let's just say I was there. That good enough for you?
Pry. Oh, I won't pry. It's not something you want to talk about, obviously. Even I can see context clues. Besides, if you wanted to tell me, you would tell me eventually. And, I mean, I don't like talking about what I went to school for either. I mean, for God's sake, a lot of places don't like the magic I practice.
Well, if you happen to be actually an occult summoner or some evil cultist that I didn't know you were and you're talking to some sort of eldritch deities behind my back, I will find you.
I am not an occult, no. Let's just say I'm on the path of trying to find a form of immortality.
Alright, good, because that would have meant you lied to me earlier, and I don't take lies sitting down. She winks.
Oh. If I told a lie, I would expect you to kill me right then and there. Just how I am.
Death is too quick. Don't trip on your way back, Callum, and... I'll see you at the inn.
See you at the inn. Have a good evening, Terry.
She's still under the table. She flips down the carpet.
As Callum walks away, he lowers his voice and we'll swap to Draconic. You know, the language of magic for most people. Yes, she's right, though. If someone were to lie, or use me, manipulate me, or do me a disservice, they must be paid back tenfold. Isn't that right, Malbad? You will repay what you've done. But that's for later. Oh, you're probably watching. Bitch. I'm coming for you. Hey, Tavern!
Love me some Terry time.
Hello, Tavern.
Hello, Tavern.
I feel I'm being called out.
I want to say while you're sitting there drinking, you will hear Minerva go,
This is just a small request, but... oh, I'm sorry if I'm talking in your head again, but,
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
could you order, like, an apple juice?
There's like a bit of confusion that goes over her face. Then there's a bit of intrigue of would that work?
Yeah.
If If that's
Excuse
too
me, waitress?
if that's too personal, then I understand. But
I got money, it's fine. I'm just going to have to adjust to this being a thing.
Your hair will slightly lift up, like a perk up of happiness. It's weird. Your hair doesn't normally move on its own, but that happens.
Ah, cool.
Possessing your hair.
Cool, my body emotes for me now. Lovely.
Hey, it could be worse. Your head could be spinning around.
Excuse me, waitress.
yes.
She now realizes what she's acting, how embarrassing that is as an adult. Irita does it anyway.
Do you have any juice or something like cider?
Let me check in the back. We normally keep a little bit of fruit juice around for those who like it. You said apple?
Yes, that's it, please.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
She's gonna bring out like a little kid's like juice box.
Oh,
Yes,
you
like,
read my
you're
fucking
just-
mind.
Bendy
You read my
straw.
fucking mind. There's a clink, and she comes back.
5'1", possessed by a taller lady, drinking juice boxes.
Lands down, juice box in front of you. There you go.
Irita, who very much still just has like a bit of fluster in her face, will just like slowly sip it.
Okay, now you hear rattling.
In her head, she'll go,
Did you snakes possess my hair?
Maybe
It seems to be moving on its own.
I apologize. I can.
No, it's fine. While we're sharing, we should probably get used to each other's mannerisms.
That is true. I'm not exactly used to sharing a physical body with someone else.
what kind of check would it be to see if Irita goes for a risque joke?
Oh my god. Charisma.
I'm surprised you're not used to sharing your body since you were engaged.
Hair flips up for a second. You feel warmth in your cheeks.
Was that off color?
Surprising. I wouldn't say off color.
And then she gets quiet for a second.
It's not exactly like you're wrong.
Sorry?
For what?
I'm just trying to make both of us comfortable. I don't want to push any subjects.
You seem to be the one who's uncomfortable.
That's just how I am. It's fine.
Is there something that I could do to help ease that?
When I'm usually studying new subjects, that usually keeps my mind off my worries. If you wouldn't mind, if there's anything you could teach me or allow me to put in my journal, that will certainly keep my mind off of any initial weirdness.
A lot of that I teach through doing, so I wouldn't say I'm a very good teacher, but I could try to...
Anything
this
you can
is
share
going to sound weird,
valuable.
but can I, and you can say no, of course, please do not feel pressured into this. May I control your arm?
God, these two are a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And it'll slowly start to move, and you will grab a pen and a piece of paper.
Right. This is a lot of many sensations. Right. Focus.
I will give this as a note. Where I come from, any bit of knowledge is greatly accepted, so even just talking about yourself is something I really respect and revere. So,
You're gonna start drawing
whatever-
some stuff, some like little pictures, and Minerva's gonna go.
Talking about myself is hard. I found my life to be a very mixed bag when it comes to what I like, what I don't like, where I go, who I talk to. I suppose you could say I've Just been kind of searching for that spark this whole time.
Then I suppose we're strangely in similar boats as her hand moves on its own. I recently left my church to, as I instructed your fiancé, to explore my horizons. I knew I wasn't going to learn much more from a book than I was from seeing the world for myself.
It's a big step.
It is, and there's been some bumps. You know, Minerva for a second will feel a flash of Irita's sister in her mind. It's still a very recent painful memory. But people like Callum, Reverie, and even you are making my studies all worthwhile. A lot of colorful characters, but honestly, this is kind of what I wanted. It just has so much to it.
It's nice to get to see this perspective. My experience has been driven by curiosity. The way I met Louisander was just that. I learned how to create a spell which would send a message across the planes of existence. I didn't know where it was going to end up or who would receive it. But at that point in my life, I did not have meaning, I suppose. So I threw it out there, hoping that, well, whatever change happened would be a good one. I met Walter that day. He nearly killed me.
Oh!
Nearly being the operative term. He was more so surprised that someone was trying to contact him to begin with. So, let's just say that the link that was created between the two of us was a little bit of a psychic tug-of-war. I do not know where I would be without my previous experience speaking to members of high society. It was a fascinating experience at the time. He saw himself as a prince. He had his own little kingdom, he had his own little subjects. But he was well aware that it wasn't real. So, I offered him a space in my home. After quite a lot of talking. This was not quick, believe you me. But, now he takes up residence there, and he's working on his ego. Louisander came along midway through. He was kind of an accent. I have never met someone who has been bound to a plane before. Some sort of sorceress origin, how magic sometimes flows through one's body. His particular notes of magic bound him to the plane of water. So, we started talking, and I dedicated myself to finding a way to bring him over here. I made a magical ring, one that would bind him to this plane again. And you feel your cheeks warm a little bit. He used that exact same ring to propose back to me.
There is an out loud "Huh" from Yurita's mouth.
I think that day, all those years of searching were worth it.
I can see why he did what he did. If I were him, I wouldn't want to lose you either.
You actually start to feel a little tears under your eyes.
You seem like a wonderful woman, Miss Minerva. And here we are. You said you weren't good about talking about yourself. I feel like we're close friends already.
I suppose I don't really have much of a reason to try very often.
Well, it seems we're going to be rather close for quite some time now. Just quite a lot of dungeons.
Earlier
Kind of you.
Earlier today, I would have said I was apprehensive about that, but I think I'm glad it's just you. I do not mind this.
It'll take some adjustment, but I hope that this relationship, be it friendship or just mutual benefit, I hope it'll be pleasant for both of us.
And she'll take control over your arm again and grab the juice box and just go,
What about just juice buddies for now?
Sure. Juice buddies.
Oh, I love how cute that is. God!
This is my friend now. No one else is allowed to have this key.
Callum, you
Well, she
come in
has
to
a-
Erie to sip in a juice box with a...
There's fluster in her face again, but it's very very happy, and she's just looking really proud at the sketches Minerva's doing for her.
Callum, you have a moment where it's just like, God damn, even the juice box has more riz than me.
Interesting. I don't know that there's a way to drink juice in a way that makes people want to.
Devin is asleep.
Good evening, Tevin. Oh, he's asleep. Callum kind of looks over and is about to say, yeah, good evening, Tevin. And like, sees he's asleep, and it's just like, oh, this man seems to have had a.
He had a tiny day.
Poor man.